So TestNG means test next generation, and TestNG provides the annotation, that is marking of the method, the order in which methods are executed. If you look at my previous example, which we have done in our last example, Rakesh Mavin, we have created this page.java, and in this page.java we have written different methods. So we have defined these methods for doing different actions, like opening of the browser, closing of the browser, making workbook connection, closing workbook connection, taking a screenshot, generating log, generating report, taking video, etc. So we have created these utilities. We have defined these methods in my page.java. And then what I was doing in my test cases, I was calling these methods here. I was calling these methods: generate log, generate report, start video, open connection, open browser, all these methods, take a screenshot. So I was calling all these methods in my test case. If I'm not calling these methods will not execute. If I extend the class, but I do not call the inherited methods will not call automatically. Then I will not be able to use them. And when I was calling these methods, I was calling them in some specific order. Like start video will be called first, then only it will start recording your video. Here, open browser I am calling before open workbook connection. I am calling before open browser, because I was reading the information from the Excel which browser to open. Similarly, a screenshot I am calling after opening of the browser. Take a screenshot, because after the browser is opened, then only I can take the screenshot. So it means we are calling this method in some specific order. This will be called first, this will be called next, and then we will be calling in a close browser, and then we will be calling say stop video, close report. So we are calling this method in a specific order to make our work simple. The TestNG defines the order of the method execution. We annotate the method, and using the annotation we can specify the order of method execution, and method will be called automatically. Like take example, there are students in my class and I call them by name. Ravi, you come here and check, I will check your copy. Piyush, you come here, I will check your copy. Amit, you come here, I will check your copy. So every time if I am coming to my class, I am calling the students by name to check their copies. Then again and again I have to repeat this process, and I have to call the students by name, and they will come according to their name. But if I set the order that your roll number is 1, your roll number is 2, your roll number is 3, and then I will say that you all come by your roll number order. Whenever I come, so you should come by your roll number. So, so they will know the order in which they have to come. I do not have to call them. They will automatically come by the roll number order 1, 2, 3, 4. This will reduce my work. Same thing TestNG is doing. Another thing is that here I have multiple test cases. At one point of time, either I will run Facebook login or I can run resolution test. I cannot run both of them together. So if I want to run both of them together, say I want to run this class as well as this class, both together, that I cannot perform. So TestNG has one more advantage, that it creates a TestNG suite. Suite means we can combine multiple tests together which can run together. That is called test suite. Test suite is a combination of multiple tests. So that is the advantage of TestNG. Now, to write a TestNG application, you have to add TestNG to your Eclipse. In Eclipse, TestNG is not bundled up. It does not come bundled up with your Eclipse. Now, how to check whether your Eclipse has TestNG or not? To check whether your Eclipse has TestNG or not, select any project. Like this is my core Java project. Here, core Java, simple core Java project only. Normal. Any project you can select and just right click on it. And when you right click on it, and if you get this option TestNG over here written, then it means TestNG is available on your Eclipse. Otherwise, if you are not able to see this option TestNG, then it means TestNG is not available. So right now, if you look at your system and if you select any of your project, like Selenium project or any project, just right click on it, and you will, if you find TestNG written, then to okay. But if TestNG is not written over here, then it means you have to add the TestNG support. To add the TestNG support, you have to go to the help, and in help you have to go to the Eclipse marketplace. Your internet connection should be there. Your machine should be connected to internet, and when you go to the Eclipse marketplace, then you will find here search button. In search button, write TestNG like this. Sorry, TestNG. Okay, one word. Test and NG is one word, single word. TestNG, and click on this go. It will search for the TestNG in the Eclipse marketplace, and it will search, and here it will return install. On my machine, it is already installed, so it is showing me the option installed. But if on your machine it is not installed, it will give you the option install over here, like here. Just click on install and follow the whatever it is saying. It will just accept the license, then check on this trusted all, and then next, and it will install it on your system. And after that, it will ask you to restart the Eclipse. Just restart the Eclipse, and then you can check it again by right clicking on any of your old project. You can right click and check whether TestNG is available. Now, after the restart, you will see that TestNG is installed on Eclipse. Okay, so now we have understood two things, that is what is the role of TestNG, and what is the role of the TestNG, that it creates the TestNG suite, and second is that it creates the order of the method execution, sequence of the method execution, and methods are automatically called in that sequence, and which makes our work easier. So hence, in the companies, we generally use this TestNG framework. This is what framework, reusable framework. So now today our concentration, our emphasis is on TestNG. So I will not be using any Selenium code. Instead of that, I will write system.out.println to explain you about the functionality of the TestNG. So let us start and write our program. So again, we have to create a Maven project. So I will create a new Maven project. Create a simple Maven project. Next, give the name of the project. Say any name you can give. Rakesh TestNG. copy the name, add it to the artifact ID, add it to the name, description, any description you can give, leave this parent project, click on finish. Your Rakesh TestNG will be created. In Rakesh TestNG, again go to this pum.xml file, click on dependencies, go to your mvnrepository.com, and search for TestNG. You will find this TestNG. Select the version 7.5, this one. Okay, select this version only, 7.5, TestNG 7.5. Copy the code, come to the Eclipse, paste it over here. As I have already told you, today my emphasis is on TestNG, so I'm not adding Selenium or any other library over here. That we will do in our next class. So here I am just adding the TestNG. After that, again select your project folder, right click on your project folder, go to build path, add libraries, and select the TestNG library. Next, and finish. So this TestNG library will be added to your project. So you have created the Maven project, you have added the dependency in pum.xml file, and you have added the TestNG library in your project. Now, same process, go to src test Java, right click, create a new package by the name of core, like we have done before. Again go to the src test Java, right click, new package by the name of test cases. So we have created two packages, core and TestNG. Now in core package, right click. Up till now I was going to this new class. I was creating a class, new class. But now what I am doing, instead of creating a new class, I am right clicking and going to this TestNG. And in TestNG, I am creating this TestNG class here. So you have to create this TestNG class. Now in this TestNG class, you will not find public static void main method. There is no public static void main method in TestNG application. And there is no need to create the constructor of the class like we were doing up till now. If we were creating the normal class here, like this, so we are getting this main method and we are creating the constructor of the class also to call the methods. But here we will just go to TestNG, create a TestNG class, and I will give the name of the class as page only, like we have given before, page. And from here you can select these annotations. These are the annotations, like I am selecting before method, after method, before class, after class, before test, after test, and I'll click on finish. Just a second. Okay, so now you will get this page.java, and in this page of Java you will get these methods, and above these methods there is an annotation. These are the annotations, marking of the method. In this page.java, we do not require this @test method. @test method is treated as a test case. So @test method will be written in the test cases here. So I will remove @test method from here. Okay. Now all these annotations are coming from this library, org.testng.annotations. And all these are the classes basically, and they are case sensitive. D and M should be capital, and there should not be space. And before method should be added together. There should be no space in between them. Okay. So these are the annotations. Now what I will do, okay. Now what I will do, I will rename these methods. Say before test, I can rename as generate log report. And instead of writing the program to generate log and report, I am just writing system.out.println so that you, when I run this program, this system.out.println statement will print, and you will come to know the order of the method execution, in which order it is executing. This is when we execute our test. @test method is the method which is called. @test means that is a test case, @test. And to run that particular test, before methods are executed, which creates the environment for that test to execute. So what are these @before? @before are the methods which are executed before the execution of the test, which creates the environment for that particular test to execute. And after @test method is executed, after methods are executed. After methods are the methods which clean up the test. That is the environment which was created. So they will remove that particular environment. And these @before methods and after methods are called automatically at runtime. The first method that is called is before test. Before test is the first method. So I'm just writing so that you will come to know. This is the first method that is called. After before test, it is the before class method, second method which is called. And also it is not compulsory to write all of them. It is optional. Only for the understanding I'm writing all of them. Maybe in your program, or whatever the project you are making, there is only requirement for before test. There is no requirement for before class. Then you can leave it. It's not compulsory that you have to write all the annotations. Maybe you require only before method and after method. You do not require any other thing. So you can write only before method and after method. No need to write all of them. Okay. But if it is better if you write all of them to make our program much better. So before class is the second method which will be called. So again I will give the name as, say, make workbook connection. So I'm just writing the statement so that these statements are printed. Then the next method which is called is before method, and this is called again and again. Before class and before test method are executed once in a lifetime, but before method is executed every time at the rate test method is called. Let us give it a name as like this. And these are methods are called when the test executes at the rate test method, and when the at the rate test method is called before at the rate test method, at the rate before test will be called, then at the rate before class will be called, and then at the rate before method will be called, in this order. And after the test is executed, then after method will be called. And this method is also called again and again. So let us give it a name as close bracket. Then after close browser, after class method will be called. Say I will rename it as close workbook connection. And at the end, this sixth method, after test, say close report. So it is same thing which we have done in our previous class. If you compare it, Rakesh Marvin, which we have done in our last session, we have created the core package, we have created the page, and we have created these methods: open browser, close browser, open workbook connection, close workbook connection, generate log, close report. Same things we have defined over here also. But now what we have done, we have added the annotations with them. These are the annotations we have added with them. Now I will go to the test cases, right click, again go to the TestNG and create a TestNG class. In our test cases, we do not write before and after methods. Before and after methods, as already told, creates the environment for the execution of the test and destroys the environment after the test is executed. In test cases, we only write @test method. And in @test method is a test case in which we only write that code which we will be performing on a page, like inspect element, find element, you are in a click, you are type, you are in a doing something, the actions which are performing on a page, the sequence that only we write in a test case. Other things we write as a utility in page.java. So let us write a test by the name of say admin test. And here we are not using this before and after methods. We can use this @data provider, or you can just click on finish. I will use this @data provider and then finish. So here you see it is creating @test method only. Right now I am not using this data provider, so I'll comment it to make the thing simple. I will use it in my and another class. What is the concept of data provider? So I'm removing data provider and also I'm removing data provider from here also. That we'll do it later. Okay. And I will write some test name, say login test. I'm not taking any parameters. I'm making it as simple only. So it is @test method. And you can write and like we were inherit now to run this @test method. I need browser to open up. I need workbook connection. I need report. For that, again I will inherit page, because we have written all the methods in page.java. But then now the difference is that we do not have to call the method. In the previous example, if you see here in my test case, again if I open it, so what I was doing when I was extending the page, I have to call these methods in a sequence, the order in which I want. But here I am just extending page, I am not calling them. Only I have written @test method functionality. So let us run it and check it. So now I will go to this admin test, this one, right click and run as TestNG test. Here, run as TestNG test. It does not have any public static void main method. I'm not creating the constructor admin test A is your new admin test A dot login test. Nothing. Just select run as TestNG test, and you see it has called all the methods automatically. First method before test, then before class, then before method, then login test is executed, then after method, after class, and after test, in this order, automatically called. Again, say I make, but preferably it is better if you make different class for different at the rate test method. Like here, I am creating one more at the rate test method, but it is not preferred. Only for the understanding I am writing. But if you want to make at the rate test method, it means this is one scenario. And if you want to make another at the rate test method, it means it is another scenario. So for that, you should create new class. But I want to explain something. So that's why I'm writing at the rate test again over here. And again I'm writing one more method, say public void new sign up. Like this. So again, this is a different scenario to sign up. This is a scenario for login. So I should create two different classes. But if you want, you can write at the rate test method in a single place, in a single class. Two at the rate test method can also take place. So if I write two at the rate test method, again I write and if I again run it, admin test run as TestNG test. So you see what now? What is the order? Again, before test is called only one time. Before class is also called only one time. But before method is called two times. After method is called two times. Because at the rate test method is called two times. One is for the login test, another is for the sign up test. So as many times the at the rate test method is called, before method and after method will be called again and again for every test. Before method, after method, and then after class, after test. Okay, understood? Now let us make one more class. Again I go to this test cases, right click, go to this TestNG, create a TestNG class. Say I create a TestNG class by the name of shop test. Again, it is not mandatory to check this data provider. So I'm not checking this data provider, I'm just clicking on this finish. At the rate test method will automatically come. And I will say, I will give the name as shop test, at the rate test. Again at the rate test. And say I make one more at the rate test method. Okay. Again, we have written two @test methods and in a different class. Now, if I run them individually, then I can run them individually. Like if I select shop.test and I run it, then shop.test, sorry, I have not extended the page. So before the shop test also, we have to extend the page. Then only it will call the before and after method. Okay. Now if I want to run them individually and I select run as TestNG test, then it will execute make payment and shop test. It is not executing login and sign up. But if I want to run both of them together, this and this, admin test and shop test, if I want to run both of them together, then what if I try to extend, say, admin test over here in this shop test, I am extending this admin test, save, and if I run this shop test, run as TestNG test. Now if you see, before test method is called one time, before class method is called, then before method, after method, login test, before method, after method, sign up test, then before method, after method, make payment, before method, after method, shop test, and then after class, before class, after class, and then before test, after test. In that way you can work. So all the methods will execute, all the 4 tests has been executed, so it has run at the test run 4. Okay. Another way is, now if you're making one more test and that test also you want to combine, then again extend. So instead of extending one into another, what I will do, okay, what I will do, I will create a test suite. So as test suite is a combination of multiple tests which we can run together. To create a test suite, I will select the project folder, right click on a project folder, go to the TestNG, and here I will get an option convert to TestNG. Here select on this convert to TestNG, click on this finish, and it will create this testng.xml file. This is a test suite file. Now we have to copy this file and paste it inside resources, src test resources, paste, and delete from here, delete. So it means you have to generate this testng.xml file, and you have to keep this testng.xml file in this location, src test resources. Here you see it has created this xml file, test single test classes, and it has added 2 classes together, shop test, admin test together. So it means this is a one test having the combination of 2 classes. And again, if I run this testng.xml now I'm not running these classes individually. or we are not inheriting one class into another class and running it. Instead of that, I want these two classes to run in combination. So I will go to this testng.xml, right click and run as testng suite. Here, run as testng suite. And when I run as testng suite, again you will get the same thing. At the rate before test called one time, at the rate before class, then before method, after method, before method, after method. Now here after class is called. You see, before class, after class. This is first test here. When we're inheriting and when I was running shop, then it was calling only one class, because through shop I was calling the admin test. But now I have two classes in my testng.xml. So before the first class and after class. Again next class, before class and after class. And both the classes are in before test, after test. One time before test, one time after test. In that. Okay. So in that way methods are executed. Now if you look at the sequence again, here if you see, I am getting the make payment first, and then I'm getting the shop test, and then I'm getting the login, and then I'm getting the sign up. The order is not right. What I should do? I should get sign up first. First person has to sign up, then login, then shop, and then do make payment order. Now for that, again if I go to this testng.xml file and I change the order, that is I will keep this admin test before shop test, then admin test method will be called before shop test method. Again if I run it, if you see now, login test method and sign up test method is called before make payment and shop test. But again I want this method to come first before login test, and similarly shop test method should come first before make payment. So if I again go to my admin test and if I change the order, that is if I write this method before login test, will it work? Let us check. Similarly in shop, I have written here the sequence is same. This method should call first shop test, and this is the next method make payment. But if I again run it, you will see that again it is coming in the same order. Login is coming before sign up and make payment is coming before shop. Now what to do? So here we can use one more approach called priority. What happens when I write multiple @test method? All the @test method has the same priority, which is 0. By default, the priority is 0. And when the priority is 0, the methods are executed in alphabetical order. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. L is coming first. M, N is coming after L. So it is executing L first and N after. In alphabetical order, it is executing. But now I want login test and sign up test before login test. So I will write here priority is equals to 1. And here I will write priority is equals to 2. So now I can write method anywhere. Order here, writing order is not important. If I do not write priority, method will be executed in alphabetical order. But if I write priority is equal to 1, this method will execute first, and priority is equal to 2, this method will execute later. Similarly over here, make payment and shop test. So in shop test, I will give the priority as 1, and here I will give the priority as 2. Priority 1, priority. Again, if I execute it, and you check the order now, so you will see sign up test is coming before login, and here shop test is coming before make payment. But now let us do one more thing. Let us make this shop test fail. So if I want to record it as a fail, I will have a assert class and I have a method fail like this. Assert.fail. Now what it will do? It will record this test as a failed test. And if shop test is failing, then make payment should not work. Make payment should not work. But now if I run it again, what you will see here also, you see shop test is executed and make payment is also executed. So it is saying 4 tests are passed, 4 tests pass 3 and 1 fail. If you look at the result of the TestNG here, you see over here new sign up is passing green, login test is passing, shop test is failing here. Shop test I have recorded as a fail, so it is failing. Others are passing, but this is failing. Up now, if this is failing, this cannot pass. This has to be failed or it has to be skipped. So for that, if I write with make payment, comma, and I write depends on methods is equals to like this. Depends on methods and method name like this. So if I write this thing depends on method shop test, so it means this method will execute only when this shop test is passing. If this shop test is not passing, then this method will not execute and it will skip this method. Again, if I run it, you see here shop test is calling, but now make payment it is not calling, and it is saying one skip, one fail, and one skip. Here, this is one fail, and this is a skip. Now what is, so if I do not write priority also over here, if I write only depends on methods, then it because it depends upon the shopping test method. The shopping test method will be automatically called first before make payment. So even if you do not write the priority over here, if you do not write any priority over here, then also because this method is dependent upon this method, I am commenting this fail. Then shop test will be called before make payment automatically. Shop test before make payment. Hence, that priority problem is that priority sets the sequence. But if method is dependent upon another method, then it will not check that particular thing. But depends upon can check the dependency and it can set the sequence also. But it is better if we write the priority also with the depends upon. That is the priority one, and here I want like this. Okay. Okay. So that is a basic, I think, structure you have understood. In our next session, we will be discussing about this data provider annotation and how does this data provider annotation works and uh, other related things in this, and we'll be adding selenium code also with this particular program. Today we have just added system println. We'll also add the selenium code and try to run it. So that will do in our next class.